Move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute. This is the podcast where we review and discuss the what? What's happening?
Who told you?
What are you talking during this thing?
Jesus, why are you talking to... Somebody had to derail it, didn't they?
You know, Mike, Tom's going to fuck it up by himself. You
I know, really. Why are you encouraging me?
Go ahead, Tom.
Who told
All
you?
right, this is what I was going to say is this is where we watch Caddyshack. We watch a minute of Caddyshack at a time we talk
We
about
watch it.
It was 79 minutes of this thing. You guys should pick up on that by now.
Yeah.
But listen, yeah, we're here. I'm Tom Taylor. I'm here, and I'm here with Mike DeMaria.
Dramatic reading, right on top of it, Cannonball coming. Yeah, done.
And Dan Lewis.
Yeah, we're here about, it's 4 minutes until it would be an hour late recording.
Yeah,
Because of
that's
who?
my
It's
fault.
just,
It's me.
and
It's all
nobody
me.
said it wasn't your fault. I was getting to that.
Okay,
It's Tom's fault.
it's completely
exactly
my
his
fault. I'm disconnected from the earth. My phone broke about 5 days ago.
So that
And,
made you late tonight because your phone broke.
It made it so I couldn't keep you up to date on my whereabouts and how late I was going to be. I was out to dinner with friends. It wasn't supposed to go this late.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
good
what it
times.
is.
It's not even my
yeah.
friends. It's my wife's friends. They're beautiful
times.
people, but I was just
Boy,
there
I'd
as like
imagine
an
how late you'd be if
appendage.
it were your friends.
Oh, you would never hear from me
Yeah.
again. I love those
Oh,
people.
having
They're
a
my
good
friends.
time. That's good. Right now is my dinner time. So,
You could have had
When's
dinner
my
while
right
you were waiting
time?
for me.
When's my
it's
right
my
time?
right time, Kent.
Well, you couldn't rightfully do that, Tom, because you said 9:45, and then we just waited. We didn't want to start anything because you could show up at any minute, and we could
That's
had to
fair.
start the minute.
Yeah.
It's
Extremely
true.
fair. So are these any? Is this anybody that you had dinner with have any ties to other podcast shows,
Ty
Tom?
Not
Some
at
of the
all.
ties.
No, they're innocent. They're good. They're true. They're lovely people. My wife
No,
has
they're
known them
not.
for 1,000
You know
years.
what? No, they're not.
Yeah,
Why is that
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
that's why is it everybody tied to your wife is tried and true?
Oh,
It's
have you
bullshit.
met my wife? She's beautiful. You're
That's
tried
it.
and true, Mike.
No, I'm
You're
not.
a friend of
not.
my wife's.
No, I'm not.
It's actually not a terrible point. I got to think about this now.
Yeah.
I always assumed
tried and shitty.
He has to preface
tried.
everything.
No, thank you.
He has to preface everything on his wife's side that how lovely and perfect everything is. That's
Yeah.
a bunch of
How it
that's a-
seems.
Big bowl of cherries. Everything
Uh-huh.
is. My back hurts, and I just want to die.
I hear. No, yeah. My
And I don't want to deal with it anymore, and I'm tired of it, and I don't care
Epsom
about
salt.
Caddyshack.
Epsom
I don't
salt.
care about any of it.
Epsom salt.
Epsom salt.
Soak in a tub of Epsom salt. Take a spoonful of it to get your insides moving, and then just pray for the best.
What does
I'm
that
ready
do?
to
What does Epsom
swim.
salt actually do?
Nothing.
I
It
don't
won't
know.
do anything.
You know what you should also
Salt, for
try?
Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I have another fix all. Go to the store and get a real big organic onion. It's got to be organic, okay? And you slice off a nice thick slice of the organic onion, a nice thick one, right?
What 300-year-old farmer's almanac did you take this from?
I'm not done yet, so just let me finish.
Okay.
All right? Then take off your sock, okay? Take the slice of onion and place it on the underside of your foot. So it's right on like the not the sole, the other part of the foot. All right, no, right on just put it on your foot and then put the sock back on and go to sleep. Got to go to sleep. You'll wake up in the morning, your back won't hurt anymore.
You're joking with me right now.
No.
This reminds
Look
me
it
of
up.
that biodynamic farming for wine.
Yeah, I don't know
Right,
what
like-
that is. That's
Well,
bullshit.
yeah, biodynamic
I'm
wine.
not
you
talking
hear
about-
it's like
but-
organic farming, but I'm saying it's similar in the sense that part of biodynamic wine is like planting on a certain day where the moon is in
No.
a certain
Oh,
thing.
boy.
No,
And
that's
then
artisanal
They
bullshit.
fill. Then
No.
you're supposed to fill a cow horn, a hollowed out cow horn with cow manure and bury it nearby.
Mm-hmm.
This
makes
is
you-
very similar, Mike.
And that helps you sell your house faster.
I don't know what it does, but
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like burying a St. Joseph in the yard upside down to help sell your house. That's not what I'm saying.
if putting an onion in your sock and going to sleep works so well, then why hasn't GlaxoSmithKline patented it yet? For
Yeah.
Christ's sakes.
Because they don't know about it.
They don't know about it. They hadn't heard about it. They're not reading the same books as you. You've been world traveling too much. That's ridiculous.
It's got to be a nice, like, beefsteaks, thick onion. It's got to be organic.
Organic onion, too.
Yeah, you put it right on the bottom of your foot. You got to put a sock on, right? It'll draw out all the toxins in your body, including your backache. I promise you.
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
Have you actually done this, Mike? Have you done this?
I haven't done it yet because every time I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to buy the onion.
It doesn't matter whether he's done it yet. It's obviously ridiculous.
Could you do could you use like a jar of garlic or something? Does it have to be a slice of onion?
It's got to be a big,
salt.
thick beefsteak slice
onion
of
salt.
onion. No, you're not listening.
No.
It's got to be a beefsteak, thick slice of organic onion. Put it on the bottom of your foot. Put a sock on. It's got to have a sock on it, okay? Then you got to go to sleep. It draws out all the toxins. It draws out the backache. It'll draw out the sniffles. It'll draw out the coughs. It'll draw out the eye infection. It'll draw everything out. It'll draw your depression out. It'll all be in your sock in the morning. Take your sock.
But then you'll
gotta take your sock.
depressed when you have to redo all your laundry because your bed smells like onions.
That's the difference. They said it does. It says it doesn't smell. And then you take the sock out, and you throw that sock away with the onion still in it, because that's all the bad juju.
This is like a Grandpa Simpson cure that he would have.
That's the onion belt. No, that is something else.
I try to do a thing where I don't sleep with alliums in my bed at all.
No
onions, no green onions.
So you're going off on these biotechnological wine tasting stuff that you're talking about. It's all bullshit. But I'll tell you what,
though. It's not technological. That's the last thing it is.
Oh, it's almanacky. But I'll tell you what, though. You can do whatever you want. That works, though. I haven't done it yet, and I plan to do it at some time in the future.
But it works.
But I haven't done it yet. It works, though.
Yeah, I can tell you're just telling me to do that just to see if I'll put an onion in my shoe.
No, I saw it on the internet.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do any of it. I'm tired of it.
It'll draw the backache out into your sock. You'll have no problems, I promise.
I'm just going to live with it, and I don't want it. I just hate it. I hate it, and I hate all of life right now. Just hate it.
Can you make a shoe smell? If you put an onion in your sock, will it make a shoe smell?
Don't wisecrack, Tom.
I'm sorry.
All right, do your bookends.
Not helping, is it?
Do your bookends.
Oh, yeah.
Dan doesn't want to listen to the reason. All he has to do is put an onion in his socket. All his worries will be gone. But let's just get to the minute. So, bookend.
Okay, maybe talking about Caddyshack will take his mind off his back a little bit, and it'll improve his day and his mood. Minute 79 of Caddyshack begins with Carl encouraging the continuation of the Cannonball, and it ends with Carl inviting Ty to just rap.
Yeah.
So it's more of this scene, which is,
Right on top of it, Cannonball coming.
Yeah.
Cannonball coming.
Yeah. Cannonball. So I guess the Cannonball is taking a big toke of whatever that big...
it's a little harsh.
It's a little harsh. And following that up with whatever that white wine is in that giant bottle thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, we said last time that we like Chevy Chase's continued resistance, but complete acceptance at the same time. The no, and then like just gobbling it down and stuff. That's funny.
Gobble gobble.
I'm not doing it justice, but it's funny. Watch the movie, you'll think it's funny. Me talking about it isn't funny.
Dan's not himself.
No, he's really not. I feel bad for Dan.
I
feel bad for any one of us who's having a hard time.
You were on quite a roll there.
What?
You were on quite a roll there. Keep going.
Did you enjoy that? Okay. Then Carl spits in the corner of his own home.
I love that.
That is, I do like that. It's disgusting. I've said elsewhere, I think, that spit
it's a big projectile one, too.
It's really gross. I think, saliva in any form, I think, is really barf-inducing. But that's funny that he does that.
Now, spit never bothered me, and I'm sure it doesn't bother Dan either. Because we played ball.
It's one of those words, because from baseball you get a lot of that. It's one of those words that I feel like the British have they call it gobbing.
Oh, that's worse.
I like it.
Gobbing.
Because it captures it better. It's worse. You're right that it's worse, but what I mean is it's a
more
better
effective word. Yeah, it is a better word.
Gobbing in your own house.
Oh, that's gross. And it's for no reason, and you can tell that it's just Bill Murray, like, I'm going to throw this into this scene.
Well, he might have, because he just had Cannonball. Maybe you got to...
Could be. Was he doing it too? Is Carl doing it too?
No, he didn't do anything.
No, I guess he's not. Yeah.
No, he's just making Ty do it.
Yeah.
There goes that theory.
Well, he's got something he offers to guests, which I think is sweet. Nobody else has offered anything to anybody
That
else
is
in the
nice.
film
Yeah.
when they come over to their house.
That's true.
He's like, hey, have a little Bob Marley joint. I mean, that's quite generous, actually, when you think about it.
Lacey offered Danny sex, but that was not in her house. That was in her
Right.
grandfather's house,
Yeah,
uncle's
she's
house.
dumb
Well, it's
anyways.
her uncle's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People need to offer each other more things in this movie and spread the love and the
I guess
camaraderie.
Ty offers a half-full Perrier.
Oh. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. And Carl also offers Ty some advice on how to take care of snails.
Oh,
They-
that's- I
what?
think you're jumping minutes.
Am I?
No.
No, it's this
It's in
minute.
this minute.
Yeah, it's this minute where he says just cut the hamstring on the bottom,
Yeah.
the back of his left leg, and
Yeah.
I've always loved this part. Yeah, he says
He'll quit
Yeah.
the game.
the weight transfer. He'll push everything off the right. He'll quit the game.
Right.
Yeah,
It's funny because this is actually good because like when Carl spits in the corner and then he's like, "So you're acting crazy? Why?" And it feels to me like a very awkward re-steering of the movie back to like the plot of the movie. Like it was just these two guys just hanging out and being weird, but now it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're in Caddyshack. So what's going on in Caddyshack right now? Kind of like we do, and we're going completely off the rails, and then we have to talk about the minute or something.
Right.
But then, like the way that they address the movie, the plot of the movie is actually really funny. Like him going into this whole thing of hamstringing Judge Smales.
yeah.
And just the matter of fact logic of that plan is funny.
Well,
I like
well,
it.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
say,
funny.
let's go off the rails. So
I think
listen,
we better. We gotta
so
do
listen.
something.
Now I got to ask you something because it happened to me It's happened to me a couple times. Do you ever hear a song from your youth?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a song that makes you think about something, and you get nostalgic. But do you ever
Oh,
have
sure.
that song where it's like you took like the drug from Brain Candy, Gleeman X, and you immediately go back to that time,
Yes.
and everything is crystal clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mine is the Four Seasons. Oh, what a night!
Oh,
December
Oh, we-
it takes you
1963.
back to late December 1963.
No,
Yeah,
it
you
takes
weren't
me
alive
to
then.
no, but it takes me to the
Thank you,
70s
Tom.
where it's just I'm sitting in the back of my dad's car. He had this like muscle car, and my sister had just got a job at Wendy's, the hamburger joint, and this was back when the girl who worked the drive-through had to dress like Wendy, had to wear the wig and the dress.
Oh my God.
So that was my sister. So I remember she got the job. My dad threw me in the back of the car and we drove up there, and that song was blasting. And I see everything crystal clear. I can see the back of the leather chairs, and I can see us in line at the drive-thru we had just ordered. And he was like harassing her on the thing, and then we were pulling up to get the food.
Dad.
Oh, what a night!
I heard that song today, as a matter of fact, just totally randomly.
Yeah, it's
Because
been,
my phone is busted. I think, was I telling this on the air? I don't even know. My phone is busted, and so I'm at the mercy of just regular radio in the car now, and that song came on. And it was enjoyable.
yeah.
And it made me think of going to Wendy's to see my sister when she
Now,
got
see,
a job there.
Yeah,
What?
don't. No, come on now, Tom. That's.
I'm sorry.
You're trying to reach for things now.
No, but you know what
telling-
else is funny though? We
What?
actually heard that song together when we were all together at what was that place?
Scofflaw.
Scofflaw. That was yeah, that song came on there.
Did it? Did I mention anything?
We argued about whether or not it was Frankie Valli or whoever. The Four
Yeah,
Seasons.
it's the Four
or whatever.
Seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was much later.
A famous scofflaw meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's famous now.
We're losing.
I got
you,
one of
Dan.
those when the song from the Van Morrison album Moondance. A couple songs on there. Caravan.
Oh sure.
And I remember listening to it a lot that summer, summer of in college after my freshman year in college, and being in Ann Arbor in the summer, like being at the college town in the summer and staying there, and like renting
Oh,
an
yeah.
apartment outside of like a college life.
Wait a
It
minute.
was a very weird feeling.
Wait a minute. You were at University of Michigan freshman year.
Not after freshman year, then it would have been after sophomore year,
Right,
right?
there we
Because
go.
I was
You were at St. Leo freshman year.
After sophomore year.
Reality check.
Now, wait a minute.
I was trying to remember which one it was, but of course I thought of the earlier one and messed it up.
Yeah, because it
and
was
then the other one is, to this day, when I hear Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, it takes me back to being in my at my aunt's house, and my cousin had this like bedroom upstairs, one of those when the house has like a bedroom upstairs where the pitch of the roof is kind of part of the bedroom.
Yeah, it's like
and he had loft. A big Led Zeppelin poster, and he's rolling a joint, and I remember that song came on, and I was like, 7, going, what the hell's going on?
What's happening? Yeah. I remember the first time I experienced this song meaning stuff. Like there was like a 7th grade dance, and I was deeply in love with Liz Mineggio, although she would never know because I wouldn't, talk to her or anything. Or I think we were like loose pals or something, like vaguely connected. Like but I was harboring a deep crush on her, and the song "Human Touch" by Rick Springfield came on at the dance. And I don't know, I guess I was looking at her or something when the song played, but like the next day I heard the song on the radio and I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was like, I was just like freaking out, like all hormones and everything. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it's just like
you finished.
Yeah, it was like you got in the orgasmatron.
Yeah. And I played the song for my friend Sean Haynes, and I was like, who I don't think was even at the dance or anything. I'm like, here, listen to this song and tell me if it makes you think you're going crazy or something. I played it for him. He's like, no, not really. I'm like, okay. And I kind of looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, I think that I've made some sort of connection with this song based on my feelings for Liz Mineggio. And it's, I guess the brain just does that. I've taken my first step into a larger world. From now on, I'm going to hear songs. And if there's a girl I like in any way connected with this song, it's going to drive me nuts for the rest of my life. And that has held true.
Well, do you and Jody have a song similarly?
No, we're married. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's saying his relationship with Jody is utilitarian. It's like a Jeep.
Yeah. It's more like, will you turn that down, please?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but it actually came to fruition. Like I'm actually in a relationship with her, so I don't need like a song to like torture myself over for her.
But I did notice something here. I did notice something, and I was thinking about this the other day when I was by myself. I was thinking that, you know what, Tom always says the full name of everybody who he's friends with. And it's I thought it was mildly annoying, but now it's so highly annoying.
Really? Wow.
It's always
A, I'm surprised that I do that, and B, I'm surprised that it's annoying.
You do it. You either said my friend, and then you say the name like your buddy. What's his name? Jerry.
My
Porter.
friend Jerry Porter.
My friend Jerry Porter. And now it's what was this guy's name? Sean Haynes.
Sean Haynes.
Right.
My
and Liz Salveggio.
Liz Mineggio. Stop
Liz
it. Liz Mineggio. Get it straight.
Liz Mineggio sounds like a Latin term for a certain, like referring to like a postcoital. Like they were in Liz Mineggio.
Yeah.
That's when you put on Rick Springfield and you just lay in bed afterwards.
They entered a state of Liz Mineggio.
Yeah, it's like a state of self-satisfaction or something.
Yeah, right.
But it is. It's like, and as I think I was scrolling through your Facebook pictures, and I saw, like, because you spent a bunch of time with your friends in Connecticut.
I sure did.
And I was reading their full names.
Everyone has 2 names.
Right. But it's like you would never say, I was hanging out with James. It's always, hey, I'm hanging out with James Carrier. Oh, I'm hanging out with Jerry Porter, my friend Jerry Porter. It's always the whole name. It's like I'm being bombarded with these names that I don't really give a shit about. Just say, hey Dan, I was hanging out with my friend Bill today, and this happened. Oh yeah, and I was like, I was hanging out with my friend Bill, blah blah blah. And give him rattle off his middle name and his last name, and I said, you know what? Fuck Tom. That's highly annoying.
Yeah,
and that shit stops here. It stops here.
I like names. I realized a long time ago that the names of kids from schools that you don't go to are like professional hockey names.
What are you
like the players of hockey. Just like if you had a friend from like another town or another school, he's like, oh, my friend Billy Bathgate or something. Like you would just have like every name just sounds like a weird. I don't know, just like names that you're unfamiliar with. When you hear the full name, it sounds like the way I would hear professional hockey names. I never pay attention to professional hockey. I don't know why I'm hearing these names.
Like Eddie Olchuk?
Yeah, like really insane, like cool, insane names. Like, yeah, whatever you just said. And like,
Eddie Olchuk.
Eddie Olchuk, yeah. Or like, I don't even know any other names.
Yager.
But they're all nuts, and they're all like lots of consonants and lots of syllables. And
I really don't know what you're talking about.
I have not the slightest idea what you talk about.
I think I'm
What
just
is
trying
he
to say I
saying,
like
Mike?
names.
He's
I like
saying-
names.
Well, hang
Is
on,
this
Tom. You stay out of this. Mike, what
Okay.
do you think he's talking about?
I don't know, but he's getting more and more annoying the more he talks.
I think he's trying to say that it gives a sense of there's this outside sense of this person, but it sort of like gives you this little, you get this little sort of like look at who they are. It gives them like a 3-dimension to him or something, or what I don't know
That's
exactly
not
what I'm
far
trying to
off.
say, or like tells a little story or something. I don't know.
No, okay, how about this? Mike, if you were to say the name of somebody you knew and you say their first and last names, and I had no idea who you're talking about, it's somebody from your childhood.
I wouldn't say.
But if you did,
all right,
this
okay.
is why I don't connect to you. Because if you would say their two names, their full name, it would be just a tiniest flash of like, oh, Mike was a kid. Mike had friends. They lived on streets. They lived in houses. They
You
had
could
full
infer
first
that
and last
anyway
name.
without
You can
hearing
infer
the
that anyway,
name.
but just that little flash of that familiarity that I don't have with this person, but Mike does because he's using the full name.
But I
So
was
it's like a
young.
That's like a
detail
little
that's
connection.
painting a picture.
Yes, yes.
But the point
But it
is,
doesn't-
I was young and I did live in a
Names
house
are
on the
random.
street.
Also,
What are you
that's what
talking
doesn't
about?
help.
Yeah.
Names are random, so it
They
doesn't
are.
help to paint a picture.
No, it doesn't. But it works for me. It's
The only time I
patina
said
of existence.
I think the only time I said somebody's full name was when I don't even know if I described theirs when I got beat up by a kid named Lloyd Floyd, and I think I said that name.
Wait,
I don't think
who's-
you said Lloyd Floyd.
was he the one who beat you up at the synagogue?
No, I don't know those
No.
names. No, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't say this. No, I got worked over on the playground by Lloyd Floyd.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Bastard, what do you do? Well, why?
boy.
I don't remember, but
Lloyd
it was
Floyd.
one of those.
Did you make fun of his name?
No, it was one
Should've.
of those kids that was
Yeah.
17 times bigger than everybody else,
Yeah.
Right.
and two of his
Lloyd
friends held me
Nah.
while he worked me over, and he was getting tired. He kept hitting me, but he was getting tired,
Yeah.
and I was like half out of it because I
Jesus
was.
Christ.
And he would take a big swing, then take a little break, and then take another swing. Lloyd
Right.
Floyd.
You
Yeah,
tried
man,
to
you-
avoid Lloyd Floyd, but he got annoyed and you got destroyed.
Yeah, yeah. That was pretty good on your feet there.
Thank
That was
you.
pretty good. Hurt back and everything.
Yeah. What Mike does is he always had a thing I noticed when before where Mike will, instead of the first name last name like Jerry Porter, like Tom's friend Jerry Porter.
Yeah, my
he,
friend Jerry Porter.
Mike will do a thing where he has the modifier and then the name for a nickname. So it was Tall Tom. He would always say Tall Tom's
yeah.
coming over, and then he
Yeah.
had his friend Straight Back Bill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Straight back Bill. I remember him. Yeah.
He had the
That's
back.
a great name,
we used to-
Straight Back Bill.
Straight Back Bill.
Why do you call him Straight Back Bill? He got a
had-
real straight back.
No, he had fantastic posture. We used to say he had a back like a Nazi. Just straight up and down, at attention
Yeah.
all the time.
I like that guy. What happened to him?
He lives in Minnesota now. He's a good guy.
Good
I wonder
for
if his
him.
back is still straight.
I hope so. Otherwise, I don't know what to call him.
He
I
would
bet
just,
he's
he
all
just
my
had,
hunched
friend
over
Bill.
now.
he just had good posture when he sat. So we called him Straight Back Bill.
Bad Back Dan.
Yeah, slump back Tom.
He had a great
Back
story.
Dan.
He had a great story. Straight Back Bill was the kind of guy who would, he loved people. He loved people, and he loved hanging
Yeah.
out at bars. He would go find the little hole in the wall bars, and he would be the guy that would stay there the longest and find the one guy. He would always go find somebody to talk to, and he'd always talk to the guy who was, probably the one that you wouldn't go up and talk to.
I wish I
Right.
was like that. I'm not.
Yeah,
though.
he was very
Yeah, me
open
too.
like that. And I would always tell him, I said, and you'd always invite people back to his apartment to drink from the bar.
God.
And we'd always say, one of these days it's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the ass.
Oh yeah. No,
And
maybe
'cause-
literally.
Yeah. No, you would, no, he would always tell me like, oh, I was at the bar and this guy, he's like this one guy came up to him or said, like, something like, he goes, if you give me $5, I'll piss my pants or something like that.
Sold.
So he gave the guy $5
$5
and
not to.
he gave the guy $5 and the guy just stood back and just put his hands on his hips and he saw the stain just start to grow in his pants.
This is why I don't drink.
And I remember Bill said to me, he goes, I met some guy that was so free in the mind. He was such a free guy that he was able to urinate in his pants. at the drop for $5, and he just stood.
He's a prophet.
And he stayed at the bar the rest of the night.
Oh my God!
So in his mind, he goes, "I got to talk to this guy and get his story." But anyways, one time he lived on like Broadway, up by like Hollywood. You know, up by there, Dan. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like on the north side, where that place Lakeview Lounge was up there.
Oh yeah, it was the
That
best
like 4
bar
o'clock bar.
ever.
That was a great bar. That was a great bar.
The greatest bar of all time. Go ahead.
What was the name of that band? Night Moves or?
I don't remember the name of the band, but there was a band that played behind the bar in about a 5x5 foot space.
Yeah.
And it was an older man playing guitar. They closed the bar down.
He had a great.
God,
he had
it
a
was
great.
the greatest.
And he was actually a really good guitar player. And he had like these surf guitars.
Yep, they played like surf music behind the bar, and it was in the tiniest little space.
Yeah.
And the vibe in there was amazing, and it was open till 4.
So you would sit at the bar, and the bartender would be in front of you, and the stage was behind the bartender. It was a bizarre.
Yeah. It was the greatest bar.
And the drummer was this old guy who had like a Travis Bickle mohawk from like Taxi Driver. And they would just play classic rock tunes.
Yeah.
But anyways, Bill would go up. He turned me onto that bar, and we'd go up there all the time. But one day, it finally caught up with him. Like I don't know if it was somebody that came back to his house, but he told me this story, and it was the craziest story I've ever heard. So he's asleep, him and his girlfriend, who's now his wife. You know, they're in bed, and he gets up in the middle of the night, like something wakes him, and he gets up and he goes, "I'm going to go get a drink of water." And he goes in the bathroom. He goes to the kitchen and gets a drink of water. He's walking back to his bedroom, and he sees feet under the bed.
Oh,
for God's sakes.
Jesus.
So he goes back in the kitchen and gets like a frying pan. And he said he walked, and his girlfriend is in the bed.
God.
So
Jesus.
So then he's walking up to the bed, and he like takes the frying pan and starts just like hitting it against the bed, and the guy comes out, and it's just this. And the guy comes out, and he said there was just like this really uncomfortable. They're both like just standing there, like staring at each other.
Hello.
That would be uncomfortable, yes.
And he's like, "What are you doing in my house?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" It's just like this real uncomfortable conversation. And the guy's like,
"What do you think I'm doing in your house?"
And he goes like, "What do you got that pan for?" And he's like, "What do you think I got the pan for?" And then it was like this. And
Would you like some eggs?
And they were both like looking at each other, and then they just started like wrestling all of a sudden. But it was like this.
Oh my God!
It was like this time where they're just uncomfortably looking at each other.
Oh my
God!
God!
And then they both just went at each other. So,
oh my God!
So he's like struggling. He's struggling to get him out the door. He's trying to get the wrestling. He gets the door open, and his girlfriend at the time just gets up and bolts out and jumps out the window because they're on the front floor. They're on like the first floor.
Yeah.
And she falls and breaks her pelvis, I think, or her hip or her pelvis.
Goodness gracious!
But he's battling with this guy, and he gets him out the door, and he kicks him out the door, and and then he goes out and he calls the cops, and he goes out to tend to his girlfriend, and the cops pull up and they grab him because they think he threw her out the window or something.
Jesus.
So that takes a few minutes, and Bill, he had that's what it was. The guy had like a pair of like pruning shears in his hand.
Oh,
Jesus.
And Bill goes, "What are you going to do with those pruning shears?" He goes, "What do you think I'm going to do with those pruning shears? Give me your money." And he's like, "What are you going to do with that frying pan?" And he's like, "I'm going to make sure you don't stab me with those pruning shears." And then they start fighting, and then he actually stabbed him with the pruning shears, and he got like cut on the side.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Bill got cut?
Yeah, Bill got cut.
Jesus.
But
straight back Bill.
He got him out the door. Everything was fine. Everything. He got him out, and then he said he went back the next day with the police because he left. They went to the hospital, and he went. He didn't want to stay there. He came back the next day, and he found this watch under his bed. It was whoever broke into his house, like his watch fell off.
Oh my God!
And he said it was
someone
like
else's watch.
No, but it was. I think he said he saw it on the guy's arm when they were wrestling.
Well, yeah, I just mean that guy probably stole that watch because he goes around stealing stuff.
But he said it was a watch that had a little tiny train set on the inside. Oh. that would go around the outside. It would just be constantly going around on the inside of the watch.
Oh my God!
So he said it was like this bizarre, like infantile, like kiddie toddler watch or something.
That's a Stephen King story.
Yeah. And we used to tell him. I said, "Don't you got to stop? You got to stop with bringing the people back." And I goes, "I know there's a lot of interesting people out there, but you can't be doing that."
There's real interesting people.
So wait, the guy was on. I don't understand what this has to do with straight back Bill meeting people at the bar. Did the guy came back with him, or
I don't know. No, I don't know if it was somebody that he had drinks with at some point, just to talk to. Because he would always talk to people. He would just always find like the most interesting people at like these dive 4 a.m. bars.
Yeah. Well, they say good conversationalists, they know how to. What you do is you ask questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with those shears?
Yeah.
Right.
Why are you under my bed?
Yeah. But he's a good guy.
Well, see, maybe philosophically, the point of the story is this is his punishment for being open to other human beings and welcoming them into his life on his terms, and then they just sort of show up and try to kill him.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, he always saw like the best in people, but he would find like people that were really interesting that nobody else.
And then hide them under his bed.
Yeah. You're best off not talking to people or even smiling at them, Tom.
No, that's phase one is underway. I'm not smiling at people anymore, and pretty soon I'll find another way to shut them out. And I'm just slowly going to wall myself in.
But the best story was that $5 to have the guy piss his pants at a crowded bar.
Yeah, I guarantee I wouldn't pay $5 to have somebody pee themselves.
Oh, I would. I'd pay.
Really?
I'd give him a 20. I think that's hilarious.
I'd watch if you paid the guy. I'd enjoy that, and it'd be a funny story.
But he said it's the way he was like a magician, and he goes, okay, now watch this, and he just stood
nothing
up
on my sleeve.
Yeah, he goes, nothing. He just check this out, and he took like 3 steps back and put his hands on his hips.
Observe.
And he was just looking.
Tremendous skill.
Yeah, and he was just
really?
He was looking at like eye to eye, not blinking, just with a little smile on his face. And then the wet stain just started to appear.
Well, maybe it was a magician trick. Maybe it's just a visual trick.
It's fantastic.
You know what I mean?
Maybe it is. Do you think it is?
And then he undoes it, and then he goes to the next bar, gets another $5.
Yep.
And that's what he does for a living.
And then when he was done, he's like, huh?
How do you do that?
And he bellied up back to the bar and stayed there, smelling like peanuts.
How'd you do that? You have some kind of urinary mechanism in there.
Some sort of valve in your lower abdomen.
Right.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine doing that and sticking around.
No. God damn.
He stayed there, huh? And just sat right back down.
Sat back down.
I'm not sure I'd be able to do it. Even if I had like an exit plan, as soon as I do this, I'm just going to go upstairs and change my clothes.
But even when that happened when you were little, you had to get out of those clothes right away.
Yeah, it's gross.
Imagine if you were real drunk though, and you were constantly waking up having wet yourself.
No.
You're like, you know what? I might as well make this work for me earlier in the night.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to wind up that way later, so I might as well get $5 out of it.
How can I monetize
this?
That
happened. How can I make this work for me?
That's the kind of thinker that will seize an opportunity.
Yeah.
He's living the American dream.
Yeah. So I can make
himself for cash.
You charge double for for number 2.
How can I turn this into my side hustle? I remember clear as day that happened to me when I was little, like at school. It had to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, on the playground, just completely.
What song reminds you of this one?
No,
yeah, really.
The Sound of Silence.
Bridge over troubled water.
Yeah.
That's weird. We both said Simon and Garfunkel.
I was going to say that's pretty wild.
That's crazy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. That's the song that was playing in my head as I was trying to walk back to school after doing it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because I was way out on the playground, and I just full release in my
Jesus
in my flared 1970s bell bottom jeans.
Yeah. How old were you?
I don't know, but I had. No, it had to be young because I had a bag of clothes there. So it's like when you were really young.
Oh, sure.
Like maybe kindergarten or first grade, right?
Just in case.
Yeah, because you'd have the paper. Because I remember clear as day, like digging my hand into the paper bag. And it was like a really wrinkled paper bag.
Yeah.
And that's where I had my second set of clothes.
Oh, man.
But because when you have kids, you have to keep a set of clothes at the school when they're like in kindergarten.
You're always going on a 2-day trip.
Right. No, it's if they have an accident, they can change. Yeah, they can change.
Yeah.
So you would just leave it there at their cubby. But we were way out on the playground, and it was full release, and the bell went off, and everybody just took off running, and I was like, oh, shit. Because you can't just walk normally after you do that.
No,
You have that peg leg, like stiff leg, side to side rocking
you can't
walk.
bend the knees. It feels you could technically walk correctly, but it doesn't feel like you should be doing it.
You don't want to be in contact with your own
No,
stuff.
you're walking real stiff leg, like you're on stilts.
Yeah.
And I could just, and my classroom was like right there, so I'm just staring at the windows, knowing that everybody's staring out at the windows at me, and I'm just having that stiff leg walk all the way back inside, and everybody's already at their desks. I just walk in, walk by everybody's desk, right to the back to the cubby where the paper bag is, grab it, just walk out to the bathroom.
Yeah.
See you in 5 minutes, teacher.
Oh. Walk of shame.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I remember the last time I ever peed myself. I was like, it was completely random, and I was like 12 or something. I was like,
Tom, I was going to tell an almost exactly the same story. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's barely a story. Like, I was just standing in my kitchen, like looking at a magazine or something at the kitchen table, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, what just happened? What? How? Why did that just happen? I'm 12. I know better than this. I'm trained for this. I just stood there baffled for a minute. Yeah. And I just went and took care of it. And
mine was I was sleeping. I must have been around the same age, Tom. I might even have been older than that. I might have been 13, 14. I don't remember. But I'm sleeping. I'm laying in bed. And I'm dreaming of really unloading. You know. Like it's a dream where I go and I see this great looking urinal and I go for it. You know, it was like something really intense. I just fully unloaded and I woke up and I was like old enough where I was like, are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, that happened to me
too. And
then
I thought, okay, I've got to take care of this. And I like very stealthily like cleaned everything up and washed everything, did all this stuff. And the whole time I'm going, is this going to be a problem now? What's going on? Like, is this something I'm going to have do I have a problem with this? And it never happened again.
No, I think it's one of those ones because you have the dream where you got to go so bad.
Yeah.
And you're at
I have those constantly now.
And you're at and you're peeing for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just like this is fantastic.
But in the dream, it doesn't the dream that I have constantly is like I find some place to pee and it's usually someplace not quite appropriate. Like I'll go into some bathroom, but I'll pee on the wall or I'll pee in the sink or something. Yeah. But it's like that huge like just letting loose. But then I'm like, God damn it, I still have to pee because in real life my body still has to pee. But I'm I see. And luckily I never I wake up and I'm dry and tidy and everything.
Yeah.
I mean it's not good to be wet, but other than that, it's weird that we're so like you were talking about walking in the jeans or something, not wanting to bend your knees, and it's horrible. But like it's weird because it's completely harmless. It's not like duty. Like
no, it's not duty.
It's just completely harmless, and yet we
it's
sort
gross.
of talk about it like it's pretty awful.
Well, being wet when you're not ready for it is uncomfortable.
Well, being
under
wet
any circumstances.
in clothes is like my kryptonite. Like if I get caught in the rain, and I just
or
I'm
in
just
bed. If you're in bed
miserable.
and you're wet, like that's not you're trying to sleep. You're comfy and dry and warm, and all of a sudden you're wet and damp and cold.
That's the worst.
I understand why.
And then there was the vomiting in school.
Sure.
And then it was that magical sawdust powder they'd throw on it that had like a citrus smell to it.
Ugh.
They would throw it up there and then they could just sweep it up all of us. It was like magic.
Yeah. It's like magic sand.
Oh.
Yeah. The world used to be a magical place. Full of barf sand and wet pants.
What else happens in this minute here? What's the
How the hell should I know? Oh, we're gonna cut somebody's leg open, hamstring them.
Wait, no, he does this where he does the drop. He drops the ball.
He does, right before.
I like that where he's like, "Oh, I'll just drop this," and he drops it in the most convenient place.
Yeah, which happens to be covered in grass.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, this is good. This is good for me."
Yeah.
Like he's still trying to play golf by the rules. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it kind of... Although it's weird that it's like so high. Like if he was actually golfing, he wouldn't...
he won on the ground.
Be teeing off of something like that.
Drops it right on the Sensimelia.
That's right.
Northern California Sensimelia and Kentucky Bluegrass.
Mm-hmm. Carl seems cool with it.
Yeah.
Carl
like he
Spackler
says, can I ask you a question, Frank? And he gets that kind of thing where it's like Ty, and then he realizes right away that he means frankly, and so he goes, Frank.
Okay, wait. Now, you just said that, and before Mike and I both referenced Simon and Garfunkel at the same time, And as Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks says, when two separate events occur pertaining to the same line of inquiry, we must always pay strict attention. I was standing on the train platform the other day, and the song Call Me Al by Paul Simon was on.
Right.
And there's a line in that song, which of course the video featured Chevy Chase.
Right.
You can call me Betty. Is that a Caddyshack reference? Because he calls Danny Betty at the beginning of the movie?
No.
Oh, that is a very interesting. Huh.
Isn't that weird? Isn't
That's,
that a
that's
little
worth
weird?
looking
Well,
into.
what
I
came
have to
first?
say.
Oh, Caddyshack by
Yeah.
10 years or
By
something, or 6
well, no,
years
yeah,
maybe,
I think
7
about
years?
6 years. I'd say. Isn't Graceland 86 maybe?
Yeah, I want to say 86.
Yeah. Oh, that might
I can
be.
call you Betty.
And then Al. Who
Al
is Al?
Chervik.
Al Chervik?
Yeah? Yes, 100%. We cracked it.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
I just don't
Somebody
find it
give me a
very
medal.
interesting.
You don't?
No, I don't find it
Oh,
interesting at
Piers.
all.
How dare you? Well, in that case, I have something very important to say that you guys are going to love.
What's that?
It's time for trivia.
Oh man, I was gonna say, did you find the goddamn card?
I don't know if you guys have perused the listener's hole, but my wife shamed me on there by pointing out that I've been sitting within
And you know
about
what?
6
And
feet
you know what?
of the box.
It's bullshit.
For
It's
weeks
complete. I'm calling bullshit where bullshit is due. She
Please
found
do.
it and she put it up there. She moved it
Oh,
and she put
yeah.
it somewhere. Then she put it up on your desk, and then took a picture. Said, "Look at my dumb husband. Look how stupid he is. It's right there. I want an
I am not
apology."
convinced
She
that you're
asked for an
wrong.
apology there, and she's not going to get one. She's not going to get
There
one.
you go.
She's not.
I am with you, Di
She's
Maria.
not going to get it because
She's a tricky one. She
Right,
wears
'cause
socks with sandals.
Because every time that we've asked for it, and then you said, "I don't know where that box is," on the air, you looked around, and it's
Yeah.
right in front of you. So she put it right in front of you. So you would have seen it at least 3 out of the 3 times that you probably searched for it on the air.
Yeah.
You would have found it.
And you know what else?
Bullshit.
She's helped me look for it at least twice in this very room, and she didn't see it either. And she's the one who put it there. I'm done feeling bad about this. I'm furious with my wife, and I think this marriage is headed for the rocks.
I really don't know who to blame on this one.
All
I'm
right,
still up in the air about it. Can you give me a week to think about it?
please do. No, take your
I'm gonna
time. I
take
don't want you
some
to jump
time,
to any
'cause I wanna-
conclusions.
I'm a little pissed that we had to go like, I don't know, several episodes here without any kind of real trivia. We
had
got
some fun
Star
trivia
Wars
in there.
trivia.
No, it was
We had
all
a little
bullshit.
Star Wars, but we found some good stuff online, didn't we? We
No.
ripped off some other people. I don't know.
The point is she put it up there recently, trying to sneak it in, and then wanted to make you feel stupid.
Yeah, she
Did
hates
you
my
look
guts.
Let me just ask you a general question. Never mind that specific spot. Did you look around for it?
Oh, I absolutely looked around.
He's
And
done it
that's
on
the
the
room-
air.
that's the
He's
room
done it
that
on
you
the
do?
air.
And that's the room that you do the podcast from?
Not only is this the room I do the podcast from, but there's 2 shelves that I'm facing right now.
Right.
That's nothing but board games,
And that's where
and
it
it's
is.
not there. No, it's not even that shelf. That's what's weird about it, is it wasn't in with the other games. And I was even thinking, like she cleaned up for my son was having a birthday party, so okay, she's straightening up. Oh, maybe she didn't want to put the Caddyshack, an adult movie game, didn't want to put it with the other kid games or something, so she put it somewhere else. So I was looking at all these other places.
All right.
And
I'm with Mike on this. She moved it and is now looking for.
So she asked for an apology in the listeners hall, and I tell her
Yeah.
to keep walking, keep looking.
Yeah.
You're not going to find one here. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
His face is made for walking. All right.
All right, let's
Anyway,
get to
the
it.
good news is I've got Caddyshack trivia, official Caddyshack trivia. This is a par 4, everybody. That means there's 4 questions. Batten down your hatches. Which sequence comes first? Judge Smale's boat christening or the bishop's game in the rain? That's an interesting question.
Boat christening.
That is correct.
But it is a good question, and those do
It
come
is.
fairly close to each other.
Yeah,
Not-
and they're
not
completely
obvious.
unrelated. So if you don't know the movie very well, you could easily mess that up.
Yep. And had you asked me before doing this podcast, it would have been a coin flip for me.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah.
You and me, Dan.
You and
all
me,
right,
we're
number
the
2.
same.
You and me, we're the same. I'm not like you. You're an asshole.
Not a tall dork. Go ahead.
What does Maggie do when Lacey walks by her at the pool? This is multiple choice if you want the
She
options.
coughs. She goes.
Yeah, she rolls her eyes maybe, but she cough until. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Wait, you want the answer or
Well,
the
I wanted to
answer
get the
choices?
timing. I want to get the time. I didn't know when it happens with the cough, but I'll go with Mike's. Go ahead. What's the
What,
choices?
the answer is coughs? Oh, you
What's
want the
the-
choices. Okay. Sneers, coughs, smiles, ignores her.
She coughs.
She coughs.
It's coughs.
Yeah, it's
You
a
guys
cough.
are right.
Mike's got that one.
What color pants does Tony like to wear? Black or white?
Oh yeah, this is.
Black.
This is an interesting
Sexy
question
black
because we
pants.
only see Tony when he's working, and he's got 5 different jobs, and it might be true
Yeah.
technically that he likes to wear white pants, but can't because
Oh.
of his many jobs where he's forced to wear darker slacks.
Is he almost always wearing a red shirt too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he always got the red jacket when he's a bartender,
Red
and
jacket
he wears
when
the
he's a
red shirt when he's
bartender.
golfing.
Yep.
And he wears a red shirt as a caddy, doesn't he?
I bet he wears green underwear to represent the Italian flag. Well, I guess you need
Yeah.
white.
Oh, you need white in there. He
Yeah.
wears a white belt
You
when
get,
he's not
you
at
get
work.
the mozzarella, the basil, and the the tomato sauce.
It's like a margarita pizza.
Yeah, the flag is like a margarita pizza. And I don't mean to demean it. I think that's a perfectly good thing to base your flag on.
All right, I got to make a point here.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so this is real time in Caddyshack Minute Hold.
Okay.
So the post from Jody was, "This is what Tom Taylor might see if he turned his head to the left while podcasting," and it's a picture of the game sitting on the shelf right above his computer. Right.
By the way, it's
So
not
the-
my computer. That's her computer.
I don't give a
but still.
shit whose computer it is.
You think I care?
Was that where you sit when you podcast?
It's next to where I sit.
So I don't care whose computer it is. And
All
then I wrote, Jody, admit that you just put it there. And
Mm-hmm.
then she just, 32 minutes ago, she said, nope, liar.
Oh my god.
And here's what it is. Here's how I know she did it now, because she can't afford to put it somewhere to put it somewhere less conspicuous, because she was already accused of putting it away in a way you couldn't find it. So the more conspicuously she hides it, the more she has to take the blame. If she puts it right out in the open, that's her chance to blame you. But she did it too much. She put it too into the open, and now it's
wants-
obvious.
She
Right.
wants to make her husband look like a dumb asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's putting it right in front of his eyes and say, look what a dumb schmuck Tom
Yeah.
Taylor is.
Tom, she's trying to make you look like a dumb moron idiot.
What? I'm not following this. Say again. Use slower, bigger words. How dare she?
Hey, Jody. Get bent. You know you hit the game.
Cram it with walnuts.
With walnuts.
Take
Ugly.
your sandals and your socks and
Yeah.
shove them straight up your ass.
Yeah. Socks with sandals. I don't trust anybody who wears socks with sandals. They could be hiding your board games, doing anything.
I love her dearly.
All right.
We
More
know,
questions.
Tom.
You don't
I
have
know,
to,
it's
you know
really
what?
great.
You don't have to always say that too. It's annoying.
Yeah, we know.
I'm sorry. I meant to say my wife Jody Evenson. I'm sorry.
It's like you're like being held hostage and you have to say it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get it. I think Tom's got that. He's got that Stockholm syndrome.
It's like a
Can you see the pattern of my blinking while I'm saying that I love her?
Help me.
Can you see that over the audio?
it's
podcast?
quite put offish when you always
I
gotta
understand.
say I love her dearly.
But you know
I
my
get
love is
that.
so strong that I don't care
All
what
right.
other people think.
All right,
It's just me and her in our own little world.
Just keep going with the trivia, please.
Okay, we got one more question, and it's a good one.
Oh,
I know Dan hates when I comment on the question before I even
I don't
goddamn
like
read
it.
it.
I don't like
What
how-
is the first sound heard in Caddyshack?
the sprinklers.
well,
the
now hang on a second.
sprinklers.
This is multiple choice too.
Maracas.
If you
Oh no, the people's voices over the thing.
Yeah, but that's not a sound. I think that he's
It's not a
talking
sound.
about. It's the sprinklers.
well, let me. You're both
It's
giving
the
very
s-
strong answers
Sprinklers.
that
Go
I
ahead,
believe
Tom.
in. But here are the multiple choice options: sprinklers,
Yeah, that's what it is.
gopher, singing, birds chirping.
It's,
It's
oh,
singing
wait a
then.
minute now. It's singing, but could it be the birds chirping?
No.
It's
not
the
birds
singing. I go singing
It is singing.
Yeah.
Because you hear the singing even like over the Orion,
over the Orion thing.
logo.
Yeah, well, we got it anyways because we said them both. We both.
did.
It's not
We
like
knew it in spirit. Mike
Yeah.
just had a different idea of what it means to be the first sound in the movie.
I thought they meant like
Yeah.
a sound.
I think
and not a
Mike's
voice.
interpretation was you have to have a visual of the movie before
Well, I thought they were talking. It's an actual natural sound, but not a voice, not a
Look,
human
we
being.
knew what we were getting into when we bought our tickets. I say let us crash.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Should we wrap
Okay,
it
that
up?
was trivia there.
Trivia.
Okay,
Yeah,
good
authentic
job.
trivia.
We're back, baby. We're back to the trivia, huh?
Now
Huh?
the show's getting good.
You can't slow us down, Jody. You could plot away. And you and your He-Man Woman Haters Club. You can
Just for
pretend.
this, Jody, we're going to go right on to Stripes.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, you know what?
100 minutes
It's
of
over
that.
now.
We're gonna start
No
it
more
before we're
dinner
done
with
with
friends.
Caddyshack.
No more dinner with friends. No more
Wonderful friends.
Netflix time with Tom. We're gonna podcast
Oh.
on Mondays. We're gonna
Beautiful
podcast
people.
on Tuesdays.
Oh.
We're gonna
So no, wait, no,
podcast on
guys, wait,
Wednesdays. We're gonna
No, no,
podcast
no.
on Thursdays, Jody. We're gonna
And
podcast
by
on
God, you're gonna
Fridays,
podcast
Jody.
on Fridays.
And we're gonna podcast on Saturdays, Jody. We're gonna podcast on Sundays. And guess what? We're gonna do Stripes. We're gonna do Brain Candy. We're gonna do. No, we're not gonna do Stripes. We'll do Brain Candy. We're gonna do Blues Brothers. We're gonna do them all, Jody. And you're gonna have to put up. You're gonna lose your husband to our podcast.
sit
What do you
there.
think about that? Netflix is
it.
done.
Sit there.
Dinner
and
with the
just-
Glasgots is done.
If you're listening, it's time to fake my death.
No more dinner with the Glasgots. No more. No more dinner with the friends. You're
Tom,
gonna
if
have
you
to
die and I find out it was faked, I'm going to be pissed.
Fair enough. Well, that's the point of faking your death. They're supposed to upset people in some way. I pre-apologize if that happens and if that's the case.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, guys.
Good
Well,
to
listen.
be back.
It is
Okay.
good to be back. Speaking of back, I hope your back is feeling better, Dan.
Like
Well,
I
it's
said,
not,
Tom.
and it's not going to.
I'll tell you- I'll
I don't
say
think
it
it
one more
ever
time.
going to
I'm
get
talking
better
about it.
either. That's the thing.
Get
It
an
really is
organic
not gonna get
onion,
better.
a thick slice of organic onion, put it
Oh,
against your
God.
foot, put a sock on.
Organic?
It's got to be organic.
All right.
All right?
I mean, onions are organic.
No,
That's
but without
their organic material.
I understand that. That's not
How
what we're
would my
talking
how
about.
would
though.
how would my foot know the difference, let alone my back?
Yeah, no man-made onion in that sock.
Look it up. Look it up.
No synthetic onion.
Does the
made
sock
of-
have to be hemp or something?
No.
Now
The
can I
sock
use
has-
a
the sock-
plastic onion?
No, the sock
That
has
you
to
keep
be
in a basket?
no. The sock has to be made of Egyptian cotton.
Oh,
Jesus.
God, no, I know you're joking.
All right. Well, everybody, go stick an onion in your sock. That's how you make a shoe smell.
Yeah.
And come back and join us next time when all of Dan's problems will be solved by an onion here on
Does
the
it work if you
Caddyshack
wear sandals over the sock?
Minute.
Like, if you put an onion in your sock, then wear sandals over it?
You can't stop us, Jody.
Yeah.
Can't stop the podcast, Jody.
You're
nice
on the
try.
bad. You're on our bad side now.
Yeah,
Good-
nice try.
Nice try.
We'll talk, dear.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.